I still remember the night everything spiraled, the night a simple no turned me into the villain in my wife's eyes. Emma had always been social, the kind of woman who thrived on company, laughter, and late-night conversations with her friends. I, on the other hand, leaned toward quiet evenings at home, just us together, away from the noise of the world. Our differences were manageable most of the time. But that night tested everything. It started innocently. Emma came into the living room, her phone in hand, her smile wide. "Lena's having a girls' night," she said, plopping onto the couch beside me. "They're planning to stay over at her place. Just a fun, cozy night, wine, movies, the usual." She tilted her head, watching me carefully. "I want to go. Maybe even stay the night." At first, I thought she was joking. We were married, not dating casually where nights apart could be brushed off. "Stay the night?" I repeated, my brow furrowing. "Why can't you just go, enjoy the evening, and come back home?" Her smile faltered slightly, but she shrugged. "Because it'll go late, and driving back at midnight isn't safe. Plus, it's easier to just crash there with the girls." I paused. A part of me understood the logic. But another part bristled. I wasn't comfortable with the idea, not because I didn't trust her, but because it felt unnecessary. Marriage, to me, meant choosing home, choosing us, especially at night. Nights apart carried a weight. "I'd rather you come back," I said slowly. "If it's about driving late, I'll pick you up." "No problem." Her eyes narrowed. "So you don't want me to stay? Even with my friends? You'd rather control when I come home?" The word control stung. That wasn't my intention, but I could see how she framed it that way. I took her hand, trying to soften the tension. "Emma, it's not about control. It's about what feels right in a marriage. I'll drop you off, I'll pick you up, anything. I just don't want us spending nights apart if it's not absolutely necessary." She pulled her hand away, her expression cooling. "So basically, no." "Yes," I admitted. Her sigh was sharp, almost theatrical. "Unbelievable. You make it sound like I'm asking to disappear for a week. It's one night with my friends. Normal couples trust each other with that." The accusation lingered in the air. Normal couples trust each other. It made me feel like I was already failing her expectations. My refusal wasn't about trust, though I couldn't convince her otherwise. It was about what I thought marriage meant, being each other's first choice, the safe place we returned to at the end of the day. The argument escalated quickly. She accused me of being controlling, of suffocating her freedom. I accused her of dismissing the sanctity of our bond. Words grew sharp, heavy with judgment. Finally, she threw the worst of it at me. "You're making yourself the villain here. You don't trust me, you don't respect me. And one day, that's exactly how I'll see you, just the bad guy who kept me from being myself." I froze. Her words pierced deeper than I expected. Was I really becoming the villain in her story? That night, she didn't speak to me. She went into the bedroom, scrolling through her phone, angrily messaging her friends. I lay awake on the couch, staring at the ceiling, wondering how we had gotten here, how a single night at a friend's house could unravel us this much. The following morning, she was colder than I'd ever seen her. She got ready for work in silence, barely glancing at me. When she finally spoke, it was with that same biting tone. "Don't worry. I stayed home like you wanted. Congratulations, you won." But it didn't feel like winning. It felt like losing her piece by piece. Days turned into weeks, and Emma's resentment grew. She brought it up in subtle ways, comments slipped into conversations, digs hidden in casual tones. Lena's husband doesn't mind when she spends the night, she'd say. Or, maybe I should have married someone less rigid. Each jab chipped away at me. I started questioning myself. Was I being old-fashioned? Was I holding on to some outdated notion of marriage that no longer fit the world we lived in? Or was Emma the one twisting things, making me out to be the villain because it suited her narrative better than admitting we simply saw commitment differently? One night, I tried to bridge the gap. I told her I trusted her, that my refusal wasn't about doubt but about closeness. I don't want to miss waking up next to you, I said softly. Her eyes softened for a moment, but then she shook her head. You still don't get it. You're so focused on what makes you comfortable that you don't see how you're suffocating me. I need space sometimes. Freedom. And there it was, the word that changed everything, freedom. She wanted freedom where I thought marriage was about togetherness. To her, a night away was harmless, even necessary. To me, it was a crack in the foundation. We never truly recovered from that fight. Over time, she stopped asking me for permission, stopped including me in her plans. It was as if my refusal that one night marked me in her eyes as controlling, untrusting, the villain who robbed her of simple joys. And maybe, in her story, I was exactly that. But in mine, I was just a man who wanted his wife to come home at night. Even now, years later, I sometimes wonder if I was wrong. If saying yes that night would have changed everything. Maybe it would have spared me from becoming the villain in her eyes. Or maybe it just would have delayed the inevitable truth that we were two people who loved differently, who defined marriage in ways that could never coexist. She wanted freedom. I wanted closeness. And between those two desires, love slipped away.